Hello, everybody. It's Fiore Army, and I want to talk about what I think is going to be in the new Dandy's World Halloween update. So, for the first tune I've thought of, I am going to be talking about the common tune, and I think that there are two names that could work. So, I think it's going to be a pumpkin, but if it's a pumpkin, it could be Kim, or if it's a jack-o'-lantern, it could be Jackie. I think it's a jack-o'-lantern, so I'm just gonna go with Jackie, but Kim could also work. So Jackie's ability is that every 45 seconds on a blackout, she can raise the brightness by 2 times for 10 seconds. So, kind of like how Brightney already has like a much higher brightness, so it would just kind of be like that, but for every tune, and for like 10 seconds. So it's kind of like how Brittany can use her ability only in blackouts, so it's just like that, but a different effect. And I actually think it might be a little less powerful because it is like a common tune and it's like the starter one, so it might be like for like 5 seconds or like maybe 1.5 times brighter, so I'm not completely sure, but that's just my idea. And obviously for the stats, and it's just 3 stars everything, and the trinket would just be um like festive lights and egg radar, so it would just be like that but something different. Yeah, and as for the next tune, Rebecca, I was thinking, well, there would probably be a skeleton tune, and I did guess that, and I think that Rebecca is going to be the uncommon tune, and I think that her ability is going to be an active one, and what it does is that in a radius a lot larger than like the Tisha and Astro like active ability is, like it'd be much larger. And what it would do is that any twisted that is currently not chasing a tune would get sent in the opposite direction, and the ability would be called like Skeleton Scare or something like that. Yeah, so as for her stats, she would have 2 star skill check, 3-star movement speed, 3-star stamina, 4-star stealth, and 3-star extraction speed. I kind of just wanted to make a basic survivalist tune. It also kind of works with her ability because like her ability allows her to like send twisteds in the opposite direction. In case of like sometimes a twisted is going to like turn a corner and see the tune, and if you're like on low stamina, it can be difficult to like deal with that situation, so just having an ability to send twisteds away would work. Besides that, there's not much of a reason for the stats. So for my next tune, I thought that maybe they would have a candy like tune, and I named her Kanda. So what I think her ability is going to be, which is a passive, is she's going to be able to, kind of like how Bobette has that like little ring, it's going to be like that, but she can slow any twisted in that ring by 5%. So the ability would work with her stats, so it might not seem as helpful for Toon to just be able to slightly slow twisteds in like a very close area. But what it does is she's almost like Astro. So here are her stats: 3-star skill check, 2-star movement speed, 2-star stamina, 4-star stealth, and 4-star extraction. So how she would work is, because most distractors are going to have more less than 4 stars of stealth, this means that she can sort of like stay by the distractor and slightly slow down the twisteds to make it easier without getting caught. So she would work similar to Astro, but like not to the point where it's too overpowered, but also to the point where in like a dire situation it could really help the distractor work well. And also she can be a okay extractor because she has like pretty decent extraction stats, so I thought that would also be a good thing. She's not as much of like a meant to be a fast tune, but that's kind of her purpose. Yeah. So for the main tune, I have thought for a bit. I mean, I thought maybe it would be a bat, so I named this tune Batterina or Batterin or whatever. Um, I know it seems a little strange for like the main tune to be a bat, but I thought because Bassie was a flower basket, like we wouldn't have as like the normal type of tune for the main tune as well. So it'd be like kind of something a little more obscure. So Batterina's passive ability is that she gets 3 trinket slots. I do think it should be an actual update, but I'm starting to think it's not going to happen. So I think having a tune that can have this ability as like an actual thing would be like absolutely phenomenal for her because it is like something a main tune would have. As for her active ability, this is a toggle ability, so what she can do is she can almost like a shield, but she can like shield one specific tune from all um debuff effects. So that's like illness, slowness, like anything that is going to negatively affect the tune, but she can only do one person at a time. She can do it. She can switch who she's protecting, but she has to wait like 15 seconds before being able to change into a new tune who she wants to protect. So, like, I think that would work a little better. Um, I mean, it might be a little overpowered because it would like make Dial's trinket like less useful, but I don't know. For a main, I think she's naturally gonna have really like a good ability, and not everyone's gonna have her. So more people are probably gonna have eventually Dial's trinket than having her, especially because she is a seasonal. Now I want to talk about the twisted ideas I have. As for Kim, or Jackie, whatever the name is, um, she is normal just because she's a common, nothing special. Maybe she's a little faster, than, like, kind of like Yada, how Yada's, like, slightly faster than the regular commons, but I think that would be fine for her. So, for, Rebecca, I think that she can, she's not gonna be able to kill, anyone, but what she'll do is she'll slowly walk around, and she doesn't have like a very far like sight radius, but if you go in that radius, she'll like alert a twisted to you. Like it's not anything crazy, but I think it's like fine for an uncommon. So for Twisted Kanda, I thought, what if it's just the opposite of regular Canda's ability, where she can slow any tune in sort of like a Bobette radius by 5%. So it would also kind of make having Kanda on your team like very helpful if you're going up against her, because if like you're being slowed by 5%, it's not like a lot, but it can be a lot for a distractor if you're dealing with like better twisteds that are faster. And as for Twisted main Batterina, I think that this is the toon that can climb over objects. I also want to make it so she can see over them and is about as fast as like Shelly or Toodles. I think that it's a pretty decent ability for like a main toon and would really make the game interesting. Also, she's a bat, so like she can fly and stuff, so it would like make sense. But that's just my opinion.